All right, here we go again. Everything seems to be recording okay. So yeah, as you can see, I lost my save again at the end of the last part. So this was the bottom of that cave I was trying to get to the bottom of before, as you can see here. You get to the bottom, you find the sapphire or whatever it is, and some scientist comes in and just steals it and says he's going to sell it to Team Rocket, and you can go get it off them if you want. But like, the games that do this, Sword and Shield do this as well, with those two dickheads with the stupid hair at the end, right? That's the ticket for one of the bird islands. But that's one of the things that makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's maddening because you have, like, I get that you're the hero and the protagonist and a 10-year-old child and you're not going to, like, threaten to murder people, but, like, you have a pocket full of 6 giant beasts. Like, you could easily just block the door. Like, you did find it first, it is yours. Like, you could block the door with, like, a Charizard and be like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, give that back, or my dog is going to bite you, like, and then he'll give it back, and that's the end of it. Like, there's just no reason for that to be a conflict or a problem. It doesn't make any sense that they can just do that and you let them do that, because it's not like you go into a conflict with the Rockets to beat all of them to get the ruby off them. Like, okay, they're evil criminals, but this guy's a thief, he stole it from you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why can't, like, what bugs me about it, and this is such a stupid thing to get mad about, it's so dumb, but what bugs me about it is, like, why not have it in the story that he, like, throws a smoke bomb down or distracts you or pushes you over into a trench? Yeah, like how Gary pushes you into the bin in Yellow. Like, you know, they could just have him push you into one of those pits, like, and then when you come back he's gone. Like, they could have so easily avoided that. Or you have a Pokemon, make it Pokemon-y, have his Butterfree use sleep powder on you or some shit, you know. So lazy. It just irritates me. Because, like, what is the point of becoming, like, a Pokemon master if, like, some guy can just snatch shit off you and you're fucked? Like, what's the, you know, because this whole thing is like a power fantasy for kids. They can go, like, oh, I can be free and roam the land and be a champion or something and tame vicious monsters and fly around. Like, that's the whole thing. And yet some adult can just be like, fuck you, bitch, this is my rock. Like, pretty uninspiring, you know? I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. I haven't been doing a lot of value since the last part. I've been watching, like, Stargate clips on YouTube. In fact, it just reminded me what I just said of the one where they're in a time loop where he, like, they start exploiting it. They get bored and they start exploiting it instead of trying to fix it, like taking a loop off and just playing golf. But there's one where whenever the time loops back to the beginning and only two of the characters remember the previous loops, the other one guy is telling him something really intense. He's saying, anyway, that's just how I feel about it. And the other guy, he reveals right near the end of the episode that he wasn't listening the first time that guy was on that rant. So, like, yeah, it's just like so good. I fucking love SG1. Next Nuzlocke, I should name my team after the SG1 characters or something. That'd be cool. Teal'c's a cool name for a legendary Pokemon anyways. So we have another of those in-game couples here. So my thinking is the Psyduck is defo not going to... I don't think... We went for the Golduck first because he's stronger, rather. And then we were able to one-shot the Psyduck, which shows how much an evolution makes. Now, do you remember that couple that was on that water route, the opposite side cycling road, where they're like, I'm going to propose, and oh no, I lost, you ruined everything, and it's like a whole scene. These guys, he specifically says, like, oh, it doesn't matter when I win or lose if I'm with Eve or whatever the fuck he just said. I feel, you know, that's like such a sweeter, they're such a nicer couple. They're gonna, that's the cool thing about this, like, the Sevi Islands actually, is like, that alone almost redeems the whole thing being kind of superfluous. Like, you have that shitty couple being shitty, and then you have a nice couple being nice, and it's like, oh, good. Like, it's like the Nintendo devs who made the original Red, Blue, Yellow were bitter, and someone who made this expansion wanted to fix that. So yeah, I was going to call the elephant Barbar. Obviously, you know, Barbar the elephant, but it was a girl, so I called it Barbara. Get it? Like Barbara. I thought that was a funny... Oh, well, it amused me anyway. I'm pretty easily amused. So yeah, we're just smashing these plant Pokemon. So Raymond is finally catching up to the A-team, so to speak. He'd be on there just for being a fucking badass dragon, but once he's the same level, it's over for them hoes. We can grind them all off screen for Elite 4 round 2. Back to those victory bells. I like the red. It's weird how those park rangers, they're red and yet they're green on this one. They could have easily made them their sprites. They didn't change them. They just used like the camper sprites or something. So I think this is island 6 out of 7 or something, right? We're pretty much there. Spoiler alert, it turns out there's no trainers on the bird island. Or the... I don't think I even went to the other island with Deoxys on it, actually. Because again, I didn't want too many legendaries, and I didn't want to also risk fainting anyone before the Elite 4 round 2 either, so... I do like that they have 2 cows, but I never like how they had the 2 cows that are like sort of the male and female same species, like the Nidorans. I didn't like how they changed them, you know. Like how they're so different to each other. By the way, did you see that pro gamer move where I switched to the bird and then used Earthquake so it wouldn't affect my own bird? But yeah, what really bugs me is it's not just that's got a newer second gen design. It's like big eyes. It doesn't look like the Tauros. They could have easily made it look in keeping with the Tauros if they weren't idiots. But it's specifically that it's bipedal, because I think when you breed a bipedal and a quadruped animal, it's a bit fucked up. It's like bestiality-esque, you know. It doesn't look right. Especially good, and it's also weird that it's like the male and female way round. Like, just logistically, as gross as it is, you can imagine the bipedal cow knocking up the quadruped cow, but the other way round, something about a Taurus banging a milk tank in Missionary is just a horrifying image that I didn't want to have in my head. But it don't treat me like a pervert. It's Game Freak, fucking Nintendo that did that. Just make them quadrupeds, you know, and then you don't have to think about it the same way you don't think about regular animals banging, you know. It's a shame I had 2 HM moves because I then couldn't learn the new good one. Bummer. There's actually a TV trope about that, Skitty and Wailord, where like the egg groups, how you can actually end up pairing, because whales are technically mammals. They wanted to like homage that, I guess, and put it in, acknowledge that real life fact and put it in with the mammals. But as a result, you can breed a kitten with a whale. And people have like horrified at the implications of that. It's like a funny TV trope. And I guess that in my head is what made me think of the other logistics of other pairings. They should never have really put a breeding mechanic in. I think it's always a mission to level up the bred animals, and if you do breed them for stats and IVs and all this shit, then the game is already too easy, you know? Plus it would, as easy as it is to breed them, just leave them with the daycare man and like walk around a bit and there's an egg. As easy as it is to breed Pokemon in the games, you think in like the in-universe of the games that everyone would just have extremely rare Pokemon by now in like a month. It seems like they'd be overpopulated, or there'd be rare ones wouldn't be rare quite quickly, you know. There was some kid that like, I got owned by this puzzle like a moron. See what I did wrong. See if I can figure it out now. You can see the gears turning in my head in real life as I think about this puzzle. Yeah, so there was this kid who said that he used to breed Laprases on gold and silver and crystal and release them into the wild because it said they're endangered, which is cute. But then in later gens, one of the descriptions is, thanks to conservation efforts, these things are almost overpopulated now. Like, you know, they're prolific now. And someone shared like the original post of that kid saying that, and then the new Pokédex description saying they're populated, and it was like the I think it's Jurassic Park meme where it's like, the son of a bitch, he did it. I thought that was quite sweet. It'd be kind of cool if Game Freak did that because of that, you know. But I doubt these games are made in Japan, and that fan was presumably a Western fan, so because his post was in English, so probably wasn't. But I like shit like that. That's a whole other thing I've never spoke about on here before, but you know, the whole meme and joke about Pokédex entry has been complete bullshit. Like, they say, oh, it burns at this many degrees, which is like literally hotter than the sun. It would like kill its trainer and everyone in a 1,000-mile radius and set the ozone layer on fire, and you know, things like that. Like, they just say shit, they just type shit without thinking about it. And I know you can say it's a kid's game, but like, don't put, if it's just for dumb kids, don't bother putting flavor text in. You know, if they're not going to read it or they don't care, what are they going to buy? You know, there's not really. The thing is, there's never been really a competitor to Pokemon. Like, yeah, Digimon for the cartoon, but like not for the games. And so I think that's one of the reasons these games are shit, other than that they're aimed at kids and nerds who will buy it, adult nerds who will buy anything despite bitching about it. I think that's like a big problem where they're just not pushed in. You know, I'm not one of those guys who thinks capitalism is the way that, you know, innovation happens, but like, yeah, you know, if you're trying to differentiate your product, you do put probably more effort in than if you have Monopoly, and they effectively have a monopoly on the concept of like team of 6 pocket monsters. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So what's Cool Trainer Leroy got to offer us? Wonder why I'm stuck here. The arrow is moving, so I didn't. Must have tabbed out or got a phone call or a co-worker asked me a question or something. Yeah, I'm being hella slow, I know. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do for breeding. I guess I'd just make it incredibly rare. But the sad thing is like shiny hunting, that if you make something rare, people will just spend more time. If it's just a time thing, they'll spend the time. If you make something a rare drop on an MMO, they'll just play for more hours. So I'm not sure the way around that, really. Perhaps they could do like an in-universe explanation, like you get your trainer license allows you to breed based on the level of training or how many badges you've got, and so unless you're a breeder, which they could stop you ever getting in the game, it's just not something you can do, then it would be like, oh, you can only breed like 5, so you only ever get like 5 breeds, you know, because Nuzlocks have that problem as well. What do we do with breeding in this? One theory is you have to give up the 2 parents, which is a kind of interesting take, or you only get one egg per game.